Fluid coding and AI here. Nex AGI's Nex-N2-Pro is free on OpenRouter, huge on paper, and aimed directly at coding agents. The real question is not whether it sounds impressive. The question is what happened when it had to complete actual coding benchmark tasks. Here are the model facts first. OpenRouter lists Nex-N2-Pro free as a $0 endpoint with text and image input, text output, reasoning support, function calling, and structured outputs. Nex AGI describes the model as a mixture of experts based on Qwen 3.5, with 397 billion total parameters and 17 billion active parameters. There is also an open weights angle. Hugging Face lists the Nex-N2-Pro repository under Apache 2.0 and tags it for transformers, SAFA-tensors, Qwen 3.5 mixture of experts, image-to-text, and conversational use. But the file view is roughly 794 gigabytes, so for most developers the practical first test is not local hosting. It is the OpenRouter route. Free does not mean unlimited. OpenRouter lists the endpoint at $0 per million input and output tokens, but free model variants are still rate limited. The documented free model limits include 20 requests per minute, plus daily caps that depend on account credit history. A negative credit balance can even produce payment errors on free models, so the right mental model is free experimentation, not infinite production capacity. Now the benchmark. This was one run through OpenRouter using the model slug Nex AGI/Nex-N2-Pro free. The report labels the suite as all benchmark suites, with 93 total cases. That means the results are evidence for this provider route, this run, and this harness. They are not proof of universal model quality, local weight behavior, latency, or provider-to-provider consistency. The headline score was 1,548 out of 2,172, or 71.27%. That is respectable for a free endpoint, but the total score hides the important story. The model was strongest when tasks were easy or medium. It became much less predictable when the benchmark moved into hard infrastructure, source judgment, policy-sensitive answers, and writing edits. The positive coding result is real. In the coding category, every easy task passed at 100 out of 100, word counter, date range validator, fast API health and echo, JSON config merger, and Slugify. Medium coding was also useful, with clean passes on a JSON log summarizer, notification engine, and task list API. The weaker medium cases still scored partial credit, bookmarks API at 75 and settings service at 80. The hard coding set changed the picture. Notes permissions passed cleanly, but several infrastructure-shaped tasks failed badly. The job queue scored 15 out of 100. The webhook receiver also scored 15. The showing scheduler scored 20. Order pricing did better at 75, but still failed the benchmark. That pattern matters because queues, webhooks, schedulers, and pricing logic are exactly the places where silent edge case misses get expensive. Very hard coding was not simply bad. The billing ledger passed at 100 and the orchestrator task scored 90, which is genuinely interesting for a free-hosted model. But the same difficulty band also exposed failures. Agent run replay scored 15, schema migration scored 15, policy authorization scored 40, and secure file pipeline scored 65. So the model can sometimes solve serious tasks, but you cannot assume it will handle state, migration, authorization, or replay correctly without tests. Outside coding, the results were uneven. Data interpretation, planning operations, quantitative reasoning, safety policy, and source research each scored 8 out of 12. Writing and editing was the weakest category at 3 out of 12, with zeros on hard and very hard writing cases. The source research misses are especially relevant for coding agents because stale docs, circular citations, and public versus private source priority can lead an otherwise capable model to make confident but wrong decisions. Two caveats are important before the verdict. First, OpenRouter routes requests across providers and documents provider controls, fallback behavior, quantization filters, and data collection controls. That means a coding agent experience can depend on routing details, not only the model name. Second, the 262,000 token context window is capacity, not correctness. Large context can help with big repos and long traces, but it does not guarantee planning, state tracking, or edge case completion. My practical verdict is this. Nex-N2-Pro Free is worth testing if you want a no-cost coding model for prototypes, debugging experiments, small utilities, and medium complexity tasks with review. It is not a drop-in senior engineer. Be careful with migrations, queues, webhooks, authorization, replay systems, policy-sensitive outputs, and any process where a partial answer can look complete. Use tests, retries, fallbacks, and source checks. The opportunity is real, but so is the verification bill. If this breakdown helped you separate the free model hype from the engineering reality, like the video and subscribe to Fluid Coding and AI. More model benchmarks, coding agent tests, and practical AI engineering breakdowns are coming next.